Hey there, and welcome to Bottom Shelf Podcast number 3. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Mikey.
And this is our podcast about everything and nothing. Welcome. Mikey, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Not a lot's been happening. Just playing a lot of Stormblood over the last week, as I assume you have when you weren't working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's still really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, and then overall just, relaxing when I don't have to work nights, which is the worst.
Oh.
And now, for my patented hypothetical of the week,
Okay.
yet again. So, given this opportunity, you need to decide if you take it. So you can never die, but it's a scenario like Edge of Tomorrow or ReZero where every time you die, you respawn in some, you pick the location, let's say.
Okay.
So it can just be like your bed.
Right.
So you die, but you come back, but you remember the experience of dying and the pain of it. And my original thing is going to be no time passes either. So you can't fix anything and change anything. So you just literally wake up at the time of your death, but in a different location. And you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, no.
But I still remember... So everything in the day that happens carries over to the next day? The next day, I guess?
It just keeps going. Time keeps going. You don't go back a day.
Right. Yeah.
So you just wake up immediately after your death in a different place, but remembering everything.
Oh, so it's not Groundhog Day.
No. Time keeps going.
Oh,
So
okay.
So you just keep having to go through that, but you could just not die. You haven't died yet in your life, so I mean,
right.
And let's say of old age, if you die, you spawn again as a 30-year-old or 25-year-old or something.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'd take that. Sure.
But what if you get brutally stabbed to death, and then you have to just wake up, and then you just continually remember that pain of being stabbed, and have to every day be like, I don't want to leave my house ever because I fear being stabbed again.
I guess I would do my absolute best to avoid being stabbed to death.
You would just try to make a fortune and then live like a hermit to not ever die.
Yeah, I'd Count of Monte Cristo this shit and just become the greatest scholar, learn everything, and then...
But see, also, what if you were, at a party with all your friends and family and loved ones, and a plane crashed into the building? Everyone you know is gone, but you just wake up in your bed and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh. And you can't, it's not like you can just be like, I'm going to end it, because if you try to just, off yourself, you're back.
Right.
And you'll always remember it. See, you always got to think a plane could crash into my house at any time with all my loved ones inside.
See, I guess I would have to train myself emotionally to be a robot. Just serial killer level, psychopath level, no emotions.
If you got a disease, would you even get it treated, or would you just be like, I'll just let it pass its course and just, deal with it?
No, because then I'd still remember how painful it is. What if it's this horrible flesh-eating bacteria?
Yeah, you go on vacation to some tropical place,
mm-hmm.
and just end up drinking bad water or something and getting some horrible disease. For some reason, you drink from some swamp.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just I can live forever.
See, but then would you do it if it was Edge of Tomorrow, where you went back in time and then you could change things? If not, you would always die at that same point.
If it was Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
No. Groundhog...
But
because that situation to me is it's shitty.
Not quite Groundhog Day, though. You wouldn't continually live that. Well, I guess if you kept dying, you would. But, yeah. So as long as you can just prevent that, but then you could fuck everything else up.
Yeah, until I found a way to stop the source that is causing continual day.
Yeah. So if you got killed but then would it be like a Final Destination scenario where you stop yourself from being killed, but then the Grim Reaper's
But
like,
death
no.
finds a way.
Yeah. He always finds a way.
Yeah.
Those movies are factual, based on true events.
No, I think I'd do the other one, the Live Forever.
Well, yeah. That's clearly the better one.
Because no one wants to do Groundhog Day bullshit.
Besides just if you die in a horrible way, it would be the worst. But yeah, again, you have forever to just get over it.
Would you do the Forever or Groundhog Day?
I'd do Forever.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, I don't want to fix things.
Yeah.
If I can just die and then just be like, hey, whatever. That sucked. I'll find another way.
Unless it's like the Groundhog Day that I'm in is something that I could benefit from, like Edge of Tomorrow specifically, when it's like the battle. So then he lives it every day and becomes like this superhuman battle man.
Oh, yeah. So if you could just become like if you could be Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
If you could be Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
And just be really cool and strong and fight aliens.
Yeah, exactly. If it was like a Groundhog Day where I'm stuck in like, no, I don't know. Shit. I was going to say like a library, but that would be so boring.
A library.
But it's like you could read a different book every day. You could, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like something that would benefit knowledge of the world, because then if you got out of that, the continual Groundhog Day, then you would wait, what?
You'd know everything.
Yeah, you'd be like super knowledgeable.
Yeah, you'd be like just the next but everyone else, it would seem like it was just a normal day, and then suddenly you like know advanced calculus, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When did you learn this?
Exactly.
You know like 10 other languages all of a sudden.
See,
that would be cool, but
be awesome.
you also have to find a way. What if you never find a way out of it? What if you just always end up dying some way?
Yeah.
It's a conundrum.
And in a library, it'd be like the most boring deaths, like a bookshelf falls on you, and you're like, oh god, I can't get up.
Yeah,
I
so
think
I'm sure
I
that
punctured
would be
along, and you just sit there reading, dying slowly.
really the best scenarios all around. I also just I don't know why I just thought of this. I think it's because I was thinking of ReZero, which is an anime with that like exact plot of reliving stuff. But do you think a real weeby guy, has ever been getting married and it got to his vows and he was like, I promise that you will be my waifu for my lifeu.
For my life.
Like, that has to have happened.
I'm sure as a joke it's been said. There's no one who's been seriously like, thank you for being my waifu for my lifeu.
His whole family's just like, oh god damn it,
Yeah,
Jim.
they're like, John,
Stop.
just.
And he's like, as I promised on the day we got engaged, I'm gonna do this. And he brings out his Rei Ayaname body pillow and burns it. She's like, oh, thank you. I
Tears
never
in his
thought
eyes.
you'd do it. Yeah. Plays a tribute. I will remember you. It's just like,
So dumb.
I've had that since I was 16.
His parents are just like, fuck, John, don't ruin this like you ruin everything else. It's just, this is my day, Dad.
I can say what I want. She's my waifu. Why can't you understand? It's like, she's not 2D, son. She never will be. Give up these crazy dreams.
No, never mind. We're gonna move on from this. Go on to our first segment, topics. My topic first to you, Mikey, was if you could take any pre-existing movies and make a cinematic universe out of them, what would it be and how would they connect? Because I was thinking about the really great, successful dark universe.
The Dark Universe Cinematic
has.
Universe.
Yeah.
It's a catchy name.
It's, yeah. because the Mummy didn't do well, right? The new one with Tom Cruise.
Overseas it did.
Oh, okay.
Here it bombed.
Yeah.
Because nobody
No
wanted
one
it.
wanted to see that. Yeah. So I gave you that task.
Yeah, and they just keep adding horrible things to that. But mine would be much more successful. I'm surprised they haven't planned something like this yet. Like, they would remake all these movies, obviously.
Of course.
So mine is the board game verse.
Jeez.
Or board game cinematic universe, whichever you prefer. The established ones that would be in this universe. The main ones are Battleship.
Oh, yeah.
Clue.
Oh, yeah.
Ouija. Those are the main three of my first connected one.
Okay.
So this first film, The Connection, whatever the fuck, I don't know what it's called, takes place on a ghost ship of one of the sunken battleships of past. And a crew from another battleship comes across it, and they're like, oh, God. And then the captain, has his daughter on board, and her and her friend were there because they were, I don't know, it was Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, and they're playing with their Ouija board. And then they have to go aboard this ghost ship, and he's like, we can use that to communicate with the dead. So they have to then solve what happened to this ancient ghost ship by contacting the dead. But once they're aboard, they notice one of their crewmates was murdered in the parlor with a candlestick. And then they have to solve on top of the mystery of the ship, they have to find out who's the murderer among the crew. And
right.
then,
so the commander of the ship is definitely Colonel Mustard, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He got a promotion to the Navy. But yeah, so then eventually, you know, they'd make like a Monopoly movie. They'd introduce, like, it would be like Nick Fury after the credits of this one. This like real estate mogul with a big white mustache and monocle would come up. He'd be like, hey, the name's something.
Monopoly Man.
Mr. Monopoly.
That's it.
I own Boardwalk Empire. And I'm interested in purchasing some properties. So yeah, they'd add that in. Then see, eventually he would be like buying all this land and properties, and then the connection of Risk, where armies start invading America, and they're taking over his land, and he has to fight back. And then eventually, was a pacifist nation, but they decide no more. Candyland comes into the situation. Also, eventually there'd just be like a standalone Game of Life, where it's just a really like depressing man's life of him just trying to make it work, but he like ends up getting stuck with this woman and having kids, and he's like, oh man,
it's like an Oscar bait movie.
Yeah, they had to throw one of those in there by some like David Fincher does it.
Nice.
Since he's doing shit movies now.
Wait, what's the next movie he's doing?
World War Z 2.
Oh yeah, what the hell, man? Do better stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of mine.
Yeah.
My first one. You got one?
Like a cinematic universe?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Dark Universe too much, but
oh yeah.
For me, if there was a way to like make a racing universe, like if they took the Fast and Furious franchise,
oh yeah,
and combined it with, I think we've actually
Drive.
It with Drive and Baby Driver.
Need for Speed with Aaron Paul.
Need for Speed with Aaron Paul. And then Cars, Pixar's Cars.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's like talking cars that they're in. That would be
shit.
Sweet.
Knight Rider, right? That's the one.
Oh yeah. With David Hasselhoff, he comes in.
Yeah.
Joins
Holy
the
hell.
family.
Yeah. That would be mine. The racing universe.
I have another one I didn't really lay out here. I have some brief things of the ape verse. Which, even though King Kong's already in that Godzilla one,
right?
He's there. It's the Planet of the Apes. Mighty Joe Young's there. Tarzan and all his apes, they're there. Every Which Way But Loose. Clint Eastwood actually stars in this movie with his ape again. And of course, everyone's favorite cult classic, MVP, Most vertical primate.
Most vertical primate.
Not the first one where he plays hockey. The
you want the more
skateboarding
extreme one.
Oh, isn't there MXP? Most extreme primate? Is that one? Or is it just vertical? I feel like there was a lot of stupid monkey.
I thought it was vertical. Most extreme.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. Yeah,
whatever. He's in it.
Fucking names.
He's doing extreme sports.
And and also Monkey Bones.
Yeah,
with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, and George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
He plays.
We're bringing him back. He's been gone for too long. The world misses you, Brendan.
It's funny. I was just talking to my girlfriend Sierra about that Brendan Fraser is in nothing anymore.
No.
And she said it was because he was like a massive asshole and no one wanted him on their sets anymore.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much this universe is Clint Eastwood working with his monkey to solve various monkey-related crimes and disasters. So, like, King Kong destroys a city, and he has to go through, and he's like, God damn it. I'm retired.
Is that what Which Way But Loose is?
Yeah, it's Clint Eastwood with a monkey.
But he solves crimes.
I think so. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'm just assuming based on the cover.
I haven't seen it either.
Isn't there a sequel to it too? There's another one. It's like Every Which Way But Something Else.
Yeah.
Why?
Every Which Way But Looser.
Why did that happen?
Because people loved watching Clint Eastwood hang out with a monkey.
Yeah, so it's him driving around in his Gran Torino with a monkey.
Oh, shit. Another racing crossover.
And George of the Jungles and Tarzan are in the car with him too. Because apes have escaped. Ape Escape is part of it.
Oh, shit.
Live action Ape Escape. So they all have big nets.
They're merging.
To catch all the apes.
Merging not cinematic universe, but it's
video games. Oh, they can make a video game cinematic universe. All the shitty movies they keep making.
Oh, God.
Make it all connect like a Smash Bros movie, but with shitty things like Assassin's Creed and Warcraft and Tomb Raider that they're making.
Oh, yeah, with
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, Vikander, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a success. If everything else... like, this dark universe, back to that.
Mm-hmm.
How? Like, they already... Dracula Untold did worse overseas, but that was supposed to be the start of it.
Yeah, and they're like, no.
Yeah, because it did fucking horrible, and I think it had better reviews than The Mummy. It did better critically.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. I never saw it.
I definitely don't remember it being like universally hated.
Yeah, and now they make it just as shitty movie, and they're like, no, we got to stick with this now. We got the guy who directed it was one of the writers of like the Star Trek and Into Darkness, which Into Darkness is a fucking mess, and he wrote Amazing Spider-Man 2, which he just like, so one of the worst writers in Hollywood, they're like, hey, let's just get this guy to make our cinematic universe. And then he said, like, the script for Bride of Frankenstein's one of the best I've read. And it's like, that means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. He could be reading shitty, horrible scripts his entire life.
Bride of Frankenstein before Frankenstein, it's pretty much the equivalent of like Batman v Superman before a Batman movie or Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
It's just jumping the gun to catch up. Gotta beat Marvel.
Yeah, that's kind of, I feel like that's what everyone's doing. Just trying to beat Marvel.
At least like the Godzilla one is going pretty slow.
Yeah.
Even though I think Godzilla's kind of boring. Kong was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that next Godzilla's good.
I want the next Godzilla to be fucking incredible, but we'll see.
We will see. Yeah, is there any other cinematic universes that they're doing?
Not that I can think. Not like any in like development or waiting to be done.
They can do also to go along with the board game one, they can do a children's toys and make the Transformers meet up with
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, make a Beyblade movie.
God.
Max Steel. Didn't they do that?
They did They redid Max Steel, and I was like, why?
Okay, well they'll reboot it and make a new one.
Everyone's forgotten about most of this stuff. Max Steel and
like a
shit
Beast
like that.
Wars movie.
Beast Wars. That would be awesome. I'd actually watch that.
Do you remember how Beast Wars? I don't know if this was just a Canada thing. Beasties. And it's the word. It's like beasties, and it's like that just sounds horrible.
Yeah,
Why?
it's because they didn't want to put war in the title.
Oh, because
like
Canada's too fragile.
Yeah.
We can't take war.
Can't
handle it,
man.
Man, Beast Wars was the best. I
Yeah.
don't think it would be now, but
The animation now is probably like disgusting.
what other kids' toys are there that were made into like shows?
Bionicle.
Oh shit, Bionicle. God, I haven't thought about those in years. There you go, Bionicle can fight Transformers. Everyone's long-awaited matchup of things from different generations.
It's funny because we talk about this as like a joke, but I can see half of this being made.
I wish. We can only hope that in the future, studios get so wise as to connect things that don't need to be connected even more. Oh, I just remembered the most exciting cinematic universe. Is the Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it that Sony's doing with their Venom movie their Black Cat and Silver Sable. Because everyone loves Black Cat and Silver Sable when they're not doing anything with Spider-Man.
And Carnage is the Cletus Cassidy.
Do you think they'll
Carnage
get Jack Earl Haley to play him?
No. He needs
What's
to be.
he doing?
Jackie O'Haley is probably doing Evil Within 2.
Oh, yeah.
He was the bad guy.
He's been reduced to video games.
Yeah.
As all Brendan Fraser should come back and do video games. Actually, I think he was just cast in some like a show. I want to say. Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but yeah.
And it was really surprising. And I was like, "Whoa, what a blast from the past!"
Oh fuck! Get out of here.
That's one of his best movies. It's so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so funny.
Bedazzled as well.
Oh yeah.
Bedazzled's sweet.
Oh, Brendan. Okay, we should probably move on to my topic now, though, which is if given the opportunity to time travel to either the future or past, would you do it, and which would you choose?
Can I just choose one, or can I choose both?
We'll get to both eventually,
Okay,
I'm sure. Just like, which one would you rather do first?
Pass, probably.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be afraid of fucking something up?
It's funny because this morning I watched the Simpsons clip where Homer has the time travel toaster, and he's like, he says the line, "I just remember what my grandfather told me at my wedding. It's like, if you ever travel back in time, don't step on anything or kill anything because it'll have big consequences."
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what would you want to see in the past? Where'd you want to go?
See, that's the thing, because I was thinking about, like, what's that, the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
If I got something that, because I'm going to get it out of the way, because everyone probably goes like, oh, go back in time, kill Hitler.
Well, that would just fuck everything
Exactly.
up.
That's a massive change. Who
knows what would happen? What if Hitler's death caused the German army to have a huge, like, uprising and, like, fight back?
See, that shit, I can't do that. It's too big of a change.
How would you kill Hitler?
But that's like everyone's thing.
What?
Everyone wants to kill Hitler.
What if you traveled back in time into Nazi Germany, and then they ended up like finding you, and they're like made you like a commander and stuff, and you ended up being like, oh well, this pretty well off now. I'm
so bad. Oh god. Wait. Is it go back in time into my past self body with my present day knowledge, or is it me physically now go back in time?
If you
I could see my past self and meet my past self.
But if you met your past self, that would probably have huge consequences as well.
Also, how did I come across this time travel? That's another thing. Is it like magical man came up and was like, hey,
a man in a suit just came up with a briefcase, and then he was like, hey, take this, and gave you his briefcase, and then you took it, and when you got home, you opened it, and it was a magical time machine inside. And you were like, oh, God.
Whoa.
And there was just a nice instructions, and he was like, do what you will, but be careful.
Okay. Okay. Because I was thinking if it was like, it was invented, and then they were like, come and try it out. I'd be like, oh, God, no, thank you.
Yeah.
If it's like a magical man with a briefcase and instructions came inside, I know it's been used before, so it'll be okay.
What if it's just how he thought it would work, though, and just gave it to some random guy on the street because he didn't want to risk doing it?
He invented it that day and was like, I need a guinea pig. He's just stalking me.
And I also, let's add that you have up to a week to come back.
Yeah, okay, good. Because that was my thing, is it time limited?
Yeah, so after a week, you're stuck wherever you are. But you have within that week to get back to like the certain place that you came in or something,
okay, yeah.
And then there's just a portal to go through to get out.
I don't know, because like, yeah, I feel like I couldn't do anything to help my past self in the past. No. And because it'd just be like, unless I like send notes, I'd send like letters to my past house addressed to past me. And they'd be like, you know, keep studying languages in high school because those are my best classes. And then I could use those languages and travel places and not feel, well, I mean, they'd still probably hate me over there. Anywhere that I would.
Anywhere they'd just be like, God damn it.
Yeah, it would just be like personal things. Like after I was done this one job, I just like took a year off work and stewed and did nothing, and then all that money I had made was just spent up.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, send a note to myself like, keep working, you fucking idiot. Like,
yeah, but then what if your past self was just like, who the fuck's telling me to do this?
Yeah, exactly. This guy's
asshole?
an idiot. Oh, one thing. I would stop scooter boards from being invented.
Oh, okay.
Because those are fucking useless. Just get a scooter or get a skateboard. No one wants.
Just get the best of both worlds here. Would you ever like try to go back and do the thing where you have like a sports almanac and then bet on some like big sports game and make a bunch of money and then put it in an account in the past in your name, so it would like get all this interest over time and you would just end up with millions in the future?
See, I thought about that too, because but I just do this more simple thing and just find like this month's winning lotto numbers.
Oh yeah,
and just
look
like,
up all the
mail
but
them.
See, then what if the person who did win the lotto in the past that time was the man who invented the
time traveling briefcase?
Yeah, it was his grandfather, and he loses, so he's like, I can't continue to live, and just shoots himself in the head, and then you're like, then you start to like glitch out, and you're like, oh God, what's happening?
Fuck.
You would never know.
I guess I'd be really banking that it wasn't that guy that had that briefcase.
Would you ever go back to like prehistoric times just to look at it?
Yeah.
Would you go back to like old human civilizations to just see what they were like from a distance? Like not ever get close enough to like...
So they'd be like, what the fuck is that guy wearing?
And then you could see if ancient aliens existed.
Yeah. See how like the pyramids were built?
Yeah. And
by aliens?
Be really careful not to get caught, to not become a slave.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's all that shit, especially the prehistoric times, to look at it from a distance. It's like, that's so fucking dangerous. I'd just be killed by a mosquito. Or
what if
like I was in prehistoric times, got like bitten by a thing,
got some virus,
came back in time, and then gave everyone this horrible virus that turned everyone into zombies, and I single-handedly started the reptile disease zombie apocalypse.
See, or it wouldn't do anything at first, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I'll go see what the future looks like," and you'd go to the future, and everything would be destroyed and like overrun by infected humans.
Yep.
There'd be signs everywhere of like patient 0, and it would be you. Because that's what I was gonna say too about the going to the future. What if you did go and it was just horrible, and you were like, "Well, fuck, I don't want to."
Yeah, exactly.
Get to this.
That's why I go to the past. I want to go to the past more than the future, because the past I know. Future is scary.
Exactly. You never know what the future. What if you went to the future and the Earth was just destroyed and there was nothing there, and you die in the vacuum of space?
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. Like, I actually have here, see if we've destroyed ourselves or not. Like if a horrible war is, exactly. Or I have commercial space travel. If they, like, you can send people up to space for fun. I mean, I think you can do that now, but it's super expensive. Or I have see where I'm at in 10 years. It could either be really hopeful or so depressing.
I was gonna say, what if you went like 10 years in the future, 20 years or whatever, and either yourself or like me or someone like really well, it was like everywhere that they were like a wanted serial killer. It's just like you're like, oh god.
So then I have to go back to the present and try and find I could stop them, or like try and find what they're doing, change their ways.
Wonder what happened when it started.
Yeah. Oh, also go into the future and see if they make a successful Transmetropolitan TV series.
No.
I know
you'll go and you'll see that like AMC did it, and they couldn't swear or do anything cool in it because it's AMC, and it was really bad.
HBO would have to do it. It's the only way. It's the only network that has the budget for it.
Yeah, probably.
So big.
I was gonna say FX could give it a go, but their budgets are lower. But they still put out consistent quality stuff.
Another thing I'd do, do you remember the game Putt Putt Saves the Zoo?
Oh god.
I would go back and just play Putt Putt Saves the Zoo to relive the glory days of PC gaming.
What about Pajama Sam?
Yeah,
and
Pajama
Freddy
Sam.
Fish. All the classic
Wait, that's what Freddy Fish?
Freddy Fish was one, yeah. I don't remember the names. I know one was a Pajama Sam that was always like, "What you are is what you eat, from your hair down to your feet."
I
and
have
like
no
stupid,
fucking
horrible names like that. They always rhymed.
Freddy Fish. That's another one.
You gotta learn while you play.
Yeah, that's why Putt Putt's the best.
Yeah. Everybody wants to learn. Do they even make games like that anymore?
I don't know. Those are for a certain age or educational system. I don't know.
Would you ever go back in time and like invest in some like Apple when they were starting out and had nothing, and you could like buy stock for super cheap and then be because I don't see how repercussion. Again, I guess you could stop someone else from buying it, and it would everything's gonna do something.
There will be a change.
But what if you change the world for the better?
Would the shock of, I feel like this massive change when you come back to the past and you're rich and you have like so much shit, the shock of it all would like fuck with you mentally. Yeah,
I was gonna say, how would like, because you would have had an entirely different
upbringing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how that would, because things would change. So then potentially your life would change slightly. So would you get like different memories in your head when you got back, and be like or like slight alterations, like something you remember as one way is slightly different in just like some weird way, but it would still be really confusing.
It's like, remember when we went camping and then we went canoeing, and it said I come back to the present. It's like, remember we went camping and we went kayaking?
Yeah, exactly. And you're
It's
like,
oh God, everything's different. I went
remember when
kayaking
we went camping
instead.
and Mikey was mauled by a bear? And you're like, oh, what? Jeez.
And you just come over and you have horrible scars all over your face.
And you know that you caused it?
Wait, how did I cause it?
Because you changed the
Oh,
past.
because right, yeah. Shit.
It's funny because Life is Strange deals slightly in like stuff like this of going back in the past, and then you completely like you care if I like spoil it? Like I don't know, like
No, like I'm playing through it, but I'm not digging it. I don't know.
It's just like it's not really a big spoiler. It's you choose to go back and save your friend's dad from dying, but then it causes her to be like fucked up.
Oh.
So then you're like, oh God, what did I do? And then you have to like make the decision to go back and make sure her dad dies so that it gets back to normal. And it's like just stuff like that. It's like, what if you were like, oh, I'll stop like some friend from dying, or like, you know, someone you know from like getting in a horrible accident, but then it caused something even worse to happen to someone else. And then you would have to go back and change it because you'd be like, well, shit, I can't, like...
That's why it's good as a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Because...
just when you think about the reality of it, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Nothing good would come of this.
Nothing. Except going to the future?
Yeah, if it was a good future.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, yeah, this looks sweet. We have flying cars and...
And there's traffic jams in the sky now.
Yeah.
People thought it would free shit up, but it's actually just the same.
Just as bad. You could be like, oh, wow. Everyone has universal income now, and there's no workers at fast food places, so I don't have to deal with shitty people that are bad at their jobs anymore.
Everything's automated and machine
That's
operated.
probably, again, if you went to like 20 or even 50 years in the future, like nothing, it would look the same, but there'd just be like self-driving cars and machines at every store, and that's all that would be different. Just more automated stuff.
Yeah, it'd be boring.
Robots would build everything. You wouldn't need humans in factories anymore. Surprised there even still is humans in like assembly line things. It's kind of insane.
They need someone to fix the machines when they break down.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only like you need that and like a janitor.
Yep.
Unless you can get a machine that can a Roomba. There you go. It's
a Roomba. Industrial size Roomba.
Done. We've solved. Look, save companies all this money. Sure, you'll lose jobs.
Then maybe I'd go back in time and tell myself to become what is it?
Robotic engineer.
Yeah, or robotic engineer.
From Final Fantasy all the time.
With a gun, and
or you'll be Christian Bale
and be anorexic.
Yeah,
and have God, that movie's scary.
What's Christian Bale doing? Was American Hustle the last thing he did?
Did Exodus come after that?
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
God, Exodus was bad.
That's Ridley Scott's best film.
Yeah, right.
He loves his religious stuff.
Okay, I think we should move on. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with segment 3. It writes itself, or segment 2. Sorry, it writes itself. Okay, welcome back. This is segment number 2, It Writes Itself, where Mikey and I randomly generate an actor and movie genre, and we come up with a pitch for the top dogs of Hollywood.
Let's hope we get some good stuff this week.
I hope so. I will generate for Mikey first.
Okay, let's go.
Spinning the wheel. Genre is... It is... Oh, okay. Bare bones. Drama. It's just a drama.
Okay. That gives me a lot of leeway, I guess.
A lot of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And your actor or actress, Scarlett Johansson.
Okay. So, we start in an old folks' home.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson is the head nurse. She's been working at the old folks' home for many a year. She thinks to herself, man, what is my life? I devote every minute of my time to these old folks. And what does it get me? So really this whole film is an existential drama about Scarlett Johansson trying to find meaning in her life. And so she just leaves the old folks home. Just one day, she's like, you know what? I've had enough. I can't deal with these old fucks anymore. I'm gone. So she just abandons her job. She just leaves. Doesn't give notice. Doesn't do anything. She just goes and she's like, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. She meets a much more outgoing, younger woman played by...
Elle Fanning, your favorite.
Okay, yeah, sure. Elle Fanning. We'll give her a shot to do something great. And see, Elle Fanning, it reminds Scarlett Johansson of herself when she was younger. And she's like, what happened? What went wrong? So it's pretty much this younger girl that she meets on the bus when she's leaving town. And she's like, oh, where are you going? And she's like, oh, I'm just going wherever. I just decided to hop on a bus. And then Scarlett's like, what? Like, you don't even plan where you're going? So it's just pretty much them going on this road trip cross country of going just from place to place, finding happiness, love,
and themselves.
Exactly. Over time, this all happens, but then Scarlett Johansson faints. She wakes up in the hospital. She has stage 3 melanoma.
Oh.
She has 3 weeks to live. I don't know how long you actually have to live with that, but I'm taking artistic liberties here. So then they're like, we can give you treatment and you can have like a couple more weeks, but it's not looking good. Scarlett's like, oh well, I don't know. And Elle Fanning's like, no, fuck that. We're gonna make sure you do everything you want. So this movie's pretty much just the bucket list. Remake of the Bucket List.
Nice.
But with women. It'll have a different name, I'll think of it. So yeah, Scarlett and Elle. Elle takes her everywhere she wanted to go. They go to the France, Paris,
Eiffel Tower, skydiving.
Exactly. Go skydiving, bungee jumping,
swimming with the
deep sea
fishes.
diving. Yep. Finally, they go to the Grand Canyon, and Scarlett's just like, I want to go on my own terms.
Jump into the Grand Jesus.
And Elle's like, no, wait, you still have another 5 days. Scarlett's like, I don't care. You've shown me happiness. You've shown me all I can be in my life. There's nothing else for me here. And they're crying.
Right.
They have an emotional embrace. They hug each other. And then Scarlett just falls back. Slow motion falls into the Grand Canyon. She's falling back as Elle's crying.
The whole way. It films the whole way, slow motion. It's like 5 minutes. You just, oh God, this is long.
See, and they actually filmed a skydiver, her skydiving backwards, and then rotoscoped it into the Grand Canyon, so it actually looks like she's full. But it's like still looks like in like old movies when it looks horribly green screened when someone's falling. Yeah. It's like that. Well, they still make it look bad nowadays. Yeah. But yeah, so it's that happening. Cut forward 30 years. Elle Fanning in older makeup, sitting there, and then she's like working at her desk, and she like opens her drawer and she's looking for some files, and then she pulls out a photo of her and Scarlett that they took at the Grand Canyon right before she killed herself.
It's like as she's falling, it's like a selfie, and she's already falling backwards.
And she remembers, and she's like, I can't keep living my life like this, because she's, fallen into the routine everyone does of being a boring old person.
She was like, I remember when I was cute.
Yeah. So then she decides, she's like, you know what? I'm going to do something exciting. And walks out the door, zoom in on the photo, and fade out. Fade out. Fade out. And that's it. It's called... Give me a second.
It's called...
Live Life to the Fullest. I guess.
Or it's it's like Edge of Tomorrow that switched to Live, Die, Repeat. It's Live Life Fullest.
Oh yeah, that's
like
perfect.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, Live Life Fullest. Starring Scarlett Johansson, Elle Fanning. Nobody else of note.
No, just them.
This made me realize the straight genres are much more difficult not having like something to play off of.
There's a lot of freedom, too much freedom.
I think with base genres, eventually we should add like another random word generator or something to or like some topic to go off of.
Something.
Not just a remake of the bucket list.
What? People love remakes and they love the bucket list.
But yeah, that's it for mine. So we will spin the wheel again to decide which genre you get.
Something good.
Right, hold on. Now it's going. A
Spin.
Pixar film about some random personified objects.
Oh, okay.
That they haven't done, clearly. Your actor, Penelope Cruz.
Okay. Random personified objects.
What haven't they done?
Okay, this Pixar film it's about cell phones. Okay.
Modern.
So it stars Penelope Cruz as like iPhone 6 like smartphone, and she's owned by like some kid. She's got like just like this hip kid who's like 18, and she's actually owned like 3 phones beforehand. She had like she had like one of those like the really, really simple play phones that are just like when you click the buttons, they say like,
it's like
it's like
things.
Hello,
like the toy phone.
Yeah.
So that you like spin the numbers and it just makes fake calls. Okay.
Yeah. And then she has another one that's like a Razr flip phone.
Oh yeah.
And what's another like? What's the phone that came after Razr flip phones? Did you just go straight to smartphones?
Sidekick.
What the fuck's a sidekick?
Like the flip, like it was like the slide out keyboard.
Oh yeah, and then it's like that too.
Yeah.
And then there's that, and then there's Penelope Cruz as the
Man, we're
new
into an
smartphone.
iPhone 6. Jeez.
So it's kind of like Toy Story in the way where this girl goes to bed, and then all the phones get together, and they all talk about their in my generation I was used like this, blah blah blah, and then the whole story revolves around the new smartphone gets announced. The smartphone GSX8.
Fuck.
By Apple and Samsung have combined in this universe. Yep. They're gonna rule this cinematic world. And then they all get together, this ragtag of phones, ragtag group of phones, and they have to go to Apple Sung to stop this smartphone being created. So there's Penelope Cruz. The hilarious toy phone is just pre-recorded lines.
So it's like a robot voice of like Stephen Hawking plays him.
Sure, Stephen Hawking. And then there's the Razr flip phone, played by someone edgy, cool, because the Razr was edgy and cool.
Zac Efron.
Yeah, sure, he's cool. Played by Zac Efron. When you look at this cast, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what are they going for?
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking, Zac Efron, Penelope Cruz.
The sidekick. Who's that?
The sidekick is we need like some comedy actor in here.
I was gonna say like Kristen Wiig.
No, actually, you know what? Screw it. She's in it. It's Kristen Wiig. She was a baby, and then she moved to this, and now she's a smartphone.
Yeah. Lots of voice work.
And then so it's like a heist.
Oh, nice.
Movie, and they go into Apple Sung, and that's them making sure they destroy the plans for making the smartphone GSX.
Is there like a plan scene before when they're like in her bedroom and they're like making like a cork board with all their like strung together like blueprints and stuff?
Yep.
And the house phone's in the other room, and he's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
shut up. We're coming up with a plan. Just keep watch. And then the Stephen Hawk, everyone's like, Penelope Cruz is like, okay, so what do we think about this plan? It's all set. We're ready to go. And all the phones are like, oh, good, good, good. And then the robot one's like, good, good, good.
Okay, yeah.
And then they finally get to Applesung. They're getting their plans underway. And the Sam or Applesung GSX-8 smartphone the prototype has already been made.
Oh, yeah.
So they have to destroy it because it's the last. They've destroyed the plans already.
It's like the villain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like who's Buzz Lightyear's villain?
Zurg.
Zurg?
I want to say
It's something like that. Anyway, it's like that. And so these the rest of the phones are they've gone off and they're destroying the plans. And Penelope Cruz iPhone 6 or 7 fights the Applesung, and it's like a texting emoji battle.
God.
So it's like a gun pops up on her screen emoji, and he brings up a knife pops up on hers, and a gun pops up on his, and then a bomb on hers, and then a dragon on his, because those are emojis.
And then he does one that she's never seen before because he's new.
They've added
new
emojis.
Just like that hydrogen bomb.
Yeah. And the bad guy is played by...
He has to be a smug asshole.
A smug asshole?
Right, because he's like a new big shit, so he's like, oh, I'm the fucking best.
It's George Clooney.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
George Clooney plays him. And it's like when they're talking to each other, it's like sending text, but like it's still voice acted. And George Clooney's like, you're obsolete. I'm the greatest. Applesung loves me. Soon I'll be in the hands of every man, woman, and child in the world. And Penelope Cruz is like, no. I can't do it, Penelope. I just end up doing Consuela from Family Guy.
I was gonna say, when they're fighting, the janitor like comes in, and it's just like two phones on the table like vibrating at each other.
And then there's got to be like some heartwarming moment where the Applesung beats Penelope Cruz in this battle, and it gets released because they still have the prototype. It just is like delayed.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, what the hell? Delayed. I want my new stuff now. And then yeah, come on. And then this thing gets released finally, and it doesn't sell as well.
Oh.
And then the prototype for the Applesung shows up at the door of the 18-year-old.
Oh, okay.
And it comes to like Penelope Cruz and her ragtag group of phones, and he's like, why didn't I sell well? What the hell? Why am I not wanted? And they're like, you're wanted here.
Oh, God.
And then they all like heart emoji, and then
hug emoji, all the happy emojis.
Yeah, it's a crossover with the Emoji Movie.
No.
Actually, wait, Emoji Movie's Sony, right?
Yeah.
No, never mind. Fuck it. This is Pixar. They don't fuck with that
No.
shit. And yeah, it's really how it ends.
There has to be a thing that makes you sad because it's Pixar.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, after he beats them, they get like taken by the janitor or something to
like cell phone recycling.
Yeah, and then they like see all the old cell phones being like crushed up
and melted down. Yeah, and then it's actually Stephen Hawking. He dies.
Oh,
his phone.
God!
It's because like they were like, we think you should stay behind at the house. It's like it's dangerous, and you just don't have the tools that we have.
You're too slow.
Yeah. He's like, I'll show you guys I'm not obsolete.
I'll show you guys.
I'll show you guys that I'm not obsolete. And then he like shows up, And it turns out like he did do a really good thing. Like he's the one who destroyed the plans.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, thank God that you came. You are useful." And then he like falls off the shelf onto the assembly line and gets crushed. And they're like, "Oh, no, Stephen Hawking phone." Anyway, yeah, and then there's got to be something with like the human. She's constantly on like the Penelope Cruz phone, and then there's like the message like, "Put your phones down and live in the moment."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then she puts her phone down or something. This is more centering around the phones, less the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and it's called Phones, like cars.
Phones. Pixar's phones.
Pixar's phones. Yeah.
Like, I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Like a movie about just electronics that they do.
Oh, yeah.
I could see. Which would be in this. There'd be like a laptop that would talk to me like, "You stupid phones."
Old Game Boy Color.
Yeah. Game Boy Color. You'd be like, I'm like cough up dust.
Yeah.
Nobody plays me anymore. And then the DS or Switch would be like, "Oh, you loser."
Yeah. I'm top of the line. Wait. Yeah, no, they would do that.
Yeah.
I was going to say at the end of the movie they'd all be friends, but throughout the movie it would just be a dig about. And then every certain old machine would be like, "Well, I was loved in my time.
Mm-hmm.
I was top of the line.
One day she'll forget about you too."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's the oldest electronic like system?
Like,
it would be like an Atari joystick.
yeah, or just like a super old like computer, like an Apple one.
Apple.
It's
Apple
just in the
One.
attic, all dusty.
Yeah, it does the whole speech like, "I was once loved too."
Yeah,
That's
the Atari's up there. It's like, "Me too," but people only wanted to play asteroids, and now with all their newfangled gizmos, they're all old people voices.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. That's my pitch. Phones. Pixar's Phones.
Pixar's Phones coming to a theater near you.
It would make a ton of money.
Yeah, that's
be
probably their next movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Or
It's great.
it'll be some dumb electronics thing.
This
Because they'll be like, "That emoji movie sucked. Let's do a better version of that."
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like A Bug's Life and Ants.
Yeah, but Ants is awesome.
Yeah, I know it is. I would say it's better than A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
I don't think A Bug's Life is very good. I don't remember it. Besides the grasshopper being cool.
Oh yeah.
Who voices the grasshopper? I don't know why I want to say Dennis Hopper, but I don't think it was him. I think that's just a punny
his
name.
name is Hopper.
Yeah, that doesn't. I'm trying to think of the last time that happened with like an animated movie of like a Bug's Life Ants situation.
Where someone tried to do like it again. The voice of Hopper.
Oh, his name's Hopper.
No. Yeah, that's why you think it's. Oh, it's Kevin Spacey.
Oh, nice. The movie's the best. Oh boy, see, and of course in Phones there'd be like cameos, like there'd be a Woody doll on the shelf.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like a fish tank with Dory or Nemo in it.
Turns out that 18-year-old girl.
Oh God.
Is the girl from Toy Story 3 that he gave all his toys to.
Yeah. Makes sense.
She's forgotten about them and moved to Phones.
Yeah, and they've all lost life because nobody loves them anymore.
Yeah.
They're making another fucking Toy Story movie.
Why? What? Why?
I think it comes out like next year.
Why?
Money.
What are you gonna do?
Already 3 was just 2 again. It was the exact same movie.
3 was the bear?
And then 2 was the prospector guy. Both villains that walk with canes. And they both want to do the same thing. They're both upset that their old owners forgot about them. It's literally the exact same thing. And everyone's like, 3's the best. And it's like, no.
3 was sad.
Yeah. Because they do the stupid Pixar thing where they just fucking out of nowhere are like, "Oh, now feel sad. Yeah, you like that, don't you?" Like everyone says how good Up is. The first 10 minutes of Up is good.
I haven't seen Up in a long time.
And then it just reduces to dogs flying planes. Yeah.
What? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember like
There's the evil pilot guy on the island, and his dogs fly planes.
oh, the Doberman.
Because it's dog fighting. Get it? WALL-E's the best movie that Pixar's done.
What's the best movie? Sorry.
WALL-E.
WALL-E. Yeah.
Actually, and I would even argue the first half of WALL-E is way better before the human stuff. Like when he's just because the whole like silent portion of it's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But really, Phones will be their greatest work yet.
I'm sure Phones will make billions.
Will really make everyone like sad and be like, man, my kids do just go on their phones all day. I wish they'd go out like when I was a kid and play stickball. No one plays stickball anymore.
Stickball.
They just play on their Nintendos.
Wait, you said WALL-E was the best Pixar, but
yeah,
Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah, Monsters Inc. and Incredibles.
Incredibles, yeah.
They're making that second one too.
Fucking
They need
Pixar.
to stop. Cars 3 just came out and nobody cared. It had like their worst opening ever.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There was a long time between 2 and 3, right?
I think so. And none of the trailers for 3 that I saw had Mater in it. I'm very disappointed. I need more Larry the Cable Guy.
You need more Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. So should probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah, this has been episode 3 of the Bottom Shelf Podcast.
Yeah. Any closing comments?
Nope.
I kind of like that we've been perfectly alternating our pitches to have like yours was the better one the first week, then mine, now yours again. So that like now I can just alternate thumbnails like that. It's working out well.
Yep. Okay. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch.
Yes, we will stream someday. I promise. Please like us and follow us all those places
At Bottom Shelf Cast.
Yeah.
You can also email us bottomshelfcast@gmail.com with actors and genre suggestions.
Yeah.
Maybe some topics you would like us to discuss as well. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Alrighty.
That should do it.
Well, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
See ya.